What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne, with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is just a day away from a historic recall vote. The results could reshape its legislature and redefine how the country confronts pressure from China. As voting day nears, civic groups rallied in the capital, saying they hope to use the recall to save democracy. But the opposition is calling it a power grab. Rick Lauer reports.
Driving rain drenching Taiwan's capital failed to dampen spirits at this Thursday night rally calling for big political change. Organisers say more than 100,000 people braved the weather to support recalling 24 opposition lawmakers, an effort that could tip the balance of power in the country's legislature.
大家是这样的国家的主人，可是有人忘记了谁才是国家的主人。我想请问你们，如果有一个人在家帮你顾婴儿，不给他吃，给他穿脏的衣服，给他喝脏的水，你会让他再做4年吗？
Lawmakers who could lose their jobs in the first round of recall votes on Saturday are all from the main opposition party, the Kuomintang or KMT, accused by civic groups here of undermining democracy, cutting government budgets and cozying up to China. The KMT rejects these claims, calling this movement a political power grab by the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, who they say want control of the country's legislature. KMT heavyweights hope they can swat down the challenges to their lawmakers.
权力如果没有被监督制衡，权力就会像一头怪兽，会像一个妖怪失控。那在我身旁，我们这些国民党的立法委员，31席全部被罢免掉，台湾的民主政治将会变成怪兽跟妖怪。
DPP leader and Taiwan's president Lai Ching-te has been battling a hostile legislature in the hands of opposition groups since he took office last year, struggling to enact his agenda of defence reforms designed to counter an increasingly aggressive China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory. At the heart of Taiwan's political drama, which sometimes erupts into physical brawls in the legislature, is a fundamental question. How should the country respond to mounting pressure from China? The DPP wants to keep Beijing at bay by bolstering defences, while the KMT says dialogue is the way to maintain peace. Many pushing for this recall say the KMT have become collaborators of the Chinese Communist Party, and the KMT messaging echoes that coming from Beijing.
反攻，反攻，反攻大陆去！今仔沿路唱互恁听，你就知影讲，即卖国民党安怎无反共，甚至要甲台湾带去互中国，这敢有道理无？
The KMT insists that they are not pro-Beijing and that this vote has nothing to do with China. Lai's DPP needs to flip just 6 seats to regain a majority in the legislature, a victory that would empower Lai at home and abroad. But if the KMT holds their line, Taiwan's political deadlock could deepen, fueling uncertainty as the country faces its most dangerous geopolitical moment in decades. Devin Tai and Rick Lauer for TaiwanPlus.
And to learn more about the potential impact of the recalls on Taiwan's political landscape, reporter Alec McDonald spoke to political commentator Courtney Donovan-Smith.
Right now, the TPP, the Taiwan People's Party, hold the 8 critical seats that break the tie in the legislative makeup. So if the DPP, the Democratic Progressive Party, were to gain enough seats through this recall effort, would the Taiwan People's Party begin to lose their relevancy?
If the DPP gets an outright majority in the legislature, that would mean that both the KMT and the TPP would lose a lot of influence. Then it would go back to like it was during the Tsai administration, and the DPP could use their legislative majority to accomplish their goals. A more interesting scenario would be if the DPP picks up a few seats, but not enough to get the majority, and they hold a plurality like the KMT does now In theory, the TPP could switch to the DPP side, but I find that unlikely.
What about the Kuomintang? Because regardless of the outcome of these recall efforts, they are facing chair elections this September. So what do you make about their future?
That's a very interesting question, because I do think that a lot will depend on the results of the recall votes. We have a KMT chair race coming up at the end of very late in September, with the new chair set to take office early in October. Now, there's been a lot of speculation around Taichung Mayor Liu Xiaoyan running. There's already 3 other candidates in the race, but they're all long shots. Eric Zhu has done quite a bit, the current chair, to reform the party, to improve their finances, and bring in younger people within the party, and to overall strengthen the party and streamline it going forward. And he's had a fair bit of success with this. However, along the way, he's also ruffled some feathers and made some enemies. So he's potentially vulnerable. Now, if the recall campaigns are very successful against KMT lawmakers, that's going to hurt him pretty badly. However, Liu Xiaoyan has not actually formally announced what she's going to do. If she did run and win, she would still have a little over 1 year term of her term left as Taichung mayor. And to run a Taipei-based party from Taichung while taking care of all the duties that are required to run the second largest city in the country, that's tough. Worse for her strategically is that she's also likely to be the KMT presidential candidate in 2028. So she needs to do a good job and leave her job as Taichung mayor on a high note. If she's too distracted by running the party.
That was political analyst Courtney Donovan-Smith. Stay tuned to TaiwanPlus for more coverage on Taiwan's mass recall. Taiwan People's Party founder Wen-je won't be allowed out of jail to cast a ballot in Saturday's vote. Ke is in detention over a corruption scandal dating back to his time as Taipei mayor. He had applied to be let out to cast a ballot, but was denied by the Taipei High Administrative Court. Ke's supporters have vowed to appeal that ruling. Taiwan's athletes are preparing for another big international sporting event, this time held in China. Our reporter Sandy Chi was at a send-off ceremony wishing them good luck.
Taiwan's top athletes are ready to shine at the 2025 World Games in Chengdu, China. It's a multi-sport event held every 4 years, which includes sports and disciplines not typically included in the Olympics. Before they head out, they're getting a flag presentation ceremony in their honor. This year, a total of 119 athletes will be competing in sports including tug-of-war, wushu, fin swimming and jiu-jitsu. President Lai attended the ceremony to wish the athletes luck.
各位即将前往中国成都，站上国际赛场，和世界各国的顶尖好手一决高下。我要祝福各位旗开得胜，取得佳绩。
During the speech, the president also highlighted past achievements of the women's tug-of-war team at the Games.
在世界运动会上，我们女子拔河已经连续5连霸啊，这一次往6连霸的路上迈进啊，所以我们对今年大家出征深具信心啊。
With high hopes from Lai, the athletes are more determined than ever to claim their next gold, putting in extra effort during training.
那我们训练就有分体能训练以及重训的重量训练，然后我们还有就是个人技术的训练，对，就是专项训练，然后以团队训练这样子。那希望一样就可以把佳绩留在台湾。
This year, as usual, the athletes will be competing under the name Chinese Taipei, which follows the Olympic protocol. However, there are worries that media in China may refer to Taiwan's team as Taipei China. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory. While there may be controversy over the team's name, Taiwan's athletes will be focusing on one thing, representing their country to the best of their ability. Klein Wang and Tanishi in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says TikTok will be forced to go dark in the U.S. if China does not approve a sale of the company's operations there. The globally popular app has around 170 million U.S. users, but lawmakers there have raised concerns over its ties to China. Congress last year passed a bill that would ban the app unless Beijing-based owner ByteDance sold it to a U.S. buyer by January 19th. U.S. President Donald Trump has extended that deadline to September 17th. As Thailand and Cambodia trade attacks in a fresh border dispute, world powers are trying to restore peace. But on both sides, officials affirm that the other side is to blame, making a possible settlement tricky. John Van Trieste reports.
Explosions shake the ground in a Thai village near the Cambodian border, sending people and dogs scrambling for cover. Clashes along the disputed Thai-Cambodia border have happened before, but things had been fairly quiet for years. But Thai-Cambodian relations are at a low point. The Thai Prime Minister has been suspended over alleged deference to Cambodia's senior leader in a leaked phone call. The death of a Cambodian soldier in a May clash and the injury of Thai troops in a landmine explosion Wednesday that Thailand blames on Cambodia haven't helped. Finally, on Thursday, tensions boiled over again. And what started small has grown fast. The two sides have traded artillery fire, and Thailand has even dropped bombs from F-16s. At least 14 people are dead, mostly civilians. Both sides are holding firm to the position that the other is the aggressor.
The Royal Thai government is prepared to intensify our self-defense measures if Cambodia persists in its armed aggression and violations upon Thailand's sovereignty in accordance with international law and principles.
What we can say this time is that the Cambodian army stands firm in their position 100% in defending its territory without fears of the Thai invaders.
As nationalistic feelings rise, civilians on both sides of the border have had to flee wherever they can find shelter. In Thailand, the shock of the sudden fighting is still fresh, even among those who can remember past clashes.
I can't eat right now. I've lost my appetite.
I'm still shaking. I can't hold anything properly.
This seems heavier than last time. It feels like it's going to be worse.
While in Cambodia, these villagers near the border fled in the dark, taking whatever they could carry on tractors. They've camped out overnight.
It was about 8 o'clock this morning. Suddenly, I heard a loud noise. My son told me it might be thunder, and I thought, is it thunder or is it loud? More like a gun. At that time, I was very scared.
The world is watching with concern. Both the United States and China want a swift end to the fighting.
We're also gravely concerned by the escalating violence along the Thailand-Cambodia border and deeply saddened by reports of harm to civilians. The United States urges an immediate cessation of hostilities, protection of civilians, and a peaceful resolution of the conflict.
泰国和柬埔寨两国都是中国的友好邻邦，也是东盟重要成员。睦邻友好，妥处分歧，符合双方根本和长远利益。
The question is whether the world's great powers have what it takes to put a lid back on such an old and bitter dispute. Karma Xu and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we play you out with a song from two-time Grammy-winning American jazz legend Chuck Mangione, who died this week at age 84. I'm Yvonne Young. Take care, and I'll see you next time.